Hi, everybody. This is Nate, and welcome, Sherry. It's so glad to
Oh,
have you
hello.
again. Yes, for the deep dive.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. We got lots of interesting things to look at
Yeah.
too. So,
And so, tell us a little bit about what's going on with your channel, upcoming shows, all that good stuff.
of course, slumber party every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Central. I've started having like panels, anywhere from 4 to 6 people that join me. And so we kind of like round robin it. Everybody gets a question. And and so we can take more requests because we can get through them
Oh, yeah.
faster. But everybody seems to enjoy it because it's just become like one big happy family party, there's a lot of laughter, a lot of giggling and carrying on. And so that's always fun. And I never really know quite week to week who's going to be
Well,
there. I send out an email and say, "Hey, you want to come on the summer party tonight?" And I usually get, I know last week I got more responses saying yes than I had slots open for them to come on. So it was like this time around, I tried to send it out to them first and say, "Hey, you want to come on tonight?" Um, and let's see, tomorrow night uh today's Saturday, right? Yeah. Okay, tomorrow night, Sunday night, I'm doing a live with Sabrina, Tree of Life Inner
oh, yeah.
Guidance. We're doing astro chat because she does astrology and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff. And so it's at 8 o'clock Central Time, 8 p.m. Central Time on her channel. We're going to be doing it on her channel. And we're going to do a new Astro chat for this month coming up and kind of what to look for, what to expect, that kind of thing. And Monday is Draining the Swamp, which is twice a month. And of course, then the regular Sisters on Wednesday, Golden Girls on Thursday. I've got Diane G coming on Friday. She does cord cutting, Akashic
Mm,
records, that kind of thing. So it's all that show is just personal stuff that we
right.
deal with. And then Saturday, which is Valentine's Day, Nathan and I will be doing
I
a
have nothing
special
to do. Oh,
Valentine's Day live. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but we're planning it. So
it will be a simulcast, so we'll be on both channels at the
yep.
same time, answering, I think, relate any kind of relationship questions, any relationship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From
Yes.
the dark side to the light side.
And
And
then
of
the
course,
following
the
week,
17th of February is Mardi Gras. And I'm starting to put together my annual Mardi Gras party online. So, where just people pop in and out on camera and we'll see who shows up and who doesn't. I don't know. I tend to just send out a general email to everybody. It's like, you got 10 or 15 minutes to spare. Come on over. And we'll have a little bit of some laissez le bon temps rouler. Let the good
yeah,
times roll. And so that's always fun. And that's about it. It's actually a light month so far.
it didn't sound it like it. In
It
two
doesn't
weeks,
sound like it, but it really is.
so 2 Saturdays from now, I will be on Sherry's channel for personal questions. So
Yes,
we
yes. That's
this Saturday,
this
this is
Saturday after Valentine's. Yeah,
this Saturday the deep dive. Next Saturday is Valentine. The
Valentine's
following,
Day.
so you get the two of us
You're
as
gonna
a
get
package.
us three
3 weeks
Saturdays in a
Canada,
row. Yeah, you're gonna be sick of looking at us, but you're gonna get us for 3 Saturdays in a row. And I'm looking forward to it because I love reading with Nathe. So,
Yeah.
um,
Uh, on my side, just a little advertising for the Third Wish magazine. The
it's
paper or the digital. The
it's
digital is only
excellent.
$10, but if you can afford it, I recommend the paper because it's kind of nicer to hold
Yeah,
it
it's
in your.
nice. You got all the pictures and everything. And he put me in it this month. It's like,
There's an interview of
yeah,
Sherry.
interview with me. So that's exciting.
And
Um,
also a little commercial too for a workshop class that I'm doing. It is free. It's on YouTube. There's no signing. You just basically watch the videos. That's all you got to do. And it is
Mhm.
a 6 month program. So this is a
Oh,
6 month program having to deal with the eclipse, the full solar eclipse in August. So every month there's a video that talks about the shift, the
different.
shadow work, the manifestation. And so
Awesome.
it's gonna be really, really deep. If you are interested in any of this benefit, if it's free, this is an hour every month for 6 months free, where we understand the psychological, spiritual aspect of the eclipse. There's
Right.
homework if you want to work on your own shadow self. And this is
Mm.
all free. If you are a member, and I recommend you to do the membership,
Join
then
membership.
there is an hour extra hour bonus with me to work on that month of the eclipse class. So,
Cool.
I just recorded right before we're doing this, the first class, this February 12th, which is next week. And I think this is going to go really, really deep. So if you want to do this
Very
program,
good.
it's free, guys. It's free.
There, yeah, there you go. There you go. Look, and you can't beat membership with Nathe. You get all kinds of stuff. So all kinds of little goodies and special videos and whatnot. And so
And
join
go
me and sign up.
subscribe and go subscribe to Sherry's channel. I mean, you are so like this to
I'm
the
like I think like a little over 100 away from hitting
oh
10,000, something like that. So I'm close. And I also have two-level membership. There's the Bebe Turtle membership, and then there's the Cajun Crawfish membership. So you can pick either one. And we have a monthly live stream that we do and a monthly Zoom meeting, which is not recorded. It's strictly come as you are, and we have a ball with it. There's no structure. We sit, we talk, we chat, we do readings for each other. It's
mm,
not just me reading for everybody, but it's others that are there who will also do readings for others. I know a couple months back, they all decided on in the instant, no, we're going to read for you this month. You're always reading for us. We're going to read for you. So I have like 6 or 7 people reading for me. It
nice.
was kind of cool, you know. So, because everybody has different ways of how they do things, and um, and so that's a lot of fun. I try to make the monthly meeting just a hangout, chill out kind of session. You know, it's
Yes, yes.
and make it just fun. Yeah, and then the live streams for members, it's anything goes. You can ask anything you want, you know, and I usually go anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours with that. So just depends.
Yeah.
And that's it for right now.
Yeah.
I've got ideas of things I want to do in the future. I just don't have the time slot available to implement stuff. So I'm working on that. And yeah,
So we are starting our deep dive. What we wanted to basically start it with is basically anything related to the Epstein files. Basically, this extra 3 million extra documents that have been uh, put out there. There's a lot of things to say. We're going to try to cover topics that not necessarily talked about. Of course, there's the heart of the matter and the abuse of the children, etc. But there's everything going around it. There's the politics of it. There's the distraction. There's the uh, international impact. There's the personal implication to cabinet members into this administration. There's just a lot to discuss. So maybe Sherry, kind of what would be kind of the first question that you feel we should ask the cards, like kind of in a general way about those files?
Sherry's reading from the floor again. Um, and we're dropping cards. Um, I think maybe start off with the fact that every time a new dump is released from the files, something really chaotic and whatnot happens in the country. It's like the minute they get dumped, Trump tries to get something all stirred up and going to get everybody to look over here, not over here. It's that squirrel moment. And he did it before with all the crap that happened in Los Angeles and then up in Oregon. And then the last dump that was made was
Yeah.
ice in Minneapolis and all the mess going on there. And everything coincides within a day or two after a document dump hits. And people start going through and reading and learning. And then he manufactures something for us to all kind of look over
Distract.
there. Yeah, in distraction, massive distraction. So I think that would
Maybe
be
the
the
question
next.
would be kind of what to expect in terms of him trying to distract again. Like what kind
Yeah,
of distraction? Is it another ice? Is it, I'm thinking, could it be also like with Iran? Is it a strike internationally? What, or something completely unexpected? What is Trump gonna do to distract? What is he gonna do?
yeah, because we know he's going to do something. Because
Yeah. What is
um,
he gonna do to distract
and then
from?
you have. Well, we'll talk about the
Yeah.
other part after we do
Oh,
this. There's an add-on to that question that we talked about before, and see.
you.
Let's see, what do we get?
What could that be?
Oh, goodness.
I'm getting like two leads, but I'm not sure exactly what they are, but two areas. What did you get,
Ye-
Sherry?
Okay, first thing I got was new rules, policies, and laws.
Hmm.
So that's something else that we talked about beforehand of things trying to get done and passed. Um, and that seems to happen every time there's a document dump. Suddenly they're talking about changing this law, that law, the other law. And then I got society collapse.
Oh,
And that actually that feels very tied into the protest because people are basically, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore mode, you know.
yeah,
Um, and then I got reversing course. So I'm not sure. It feels more like the administration is going to reverse course on something to make it look like they're giving in to something
yeah,
when actually they're just redirecting what they want to do in another direction. Um, and then I got domestic priority.
yep. That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
that's the four that I pulled. Um,
You're right. I'm not seeing anything international. I feel like it's domestic.
it's
My
all, yeah.
was the Three of Sword. So I could see something very much related to like an attack that could be physical to a woman. Is he gonna do something against women's right? Or it could be a woman that is getting hurt, like Renee Good. That could be something like this, where a woman gets hurt, you know, and when I say hurt, it could be anything, but
When
like
you started talking about it, I pulled economic
I mean,
pressure,
well,
cost of living.
this is so interesting because part two, Four of Pentacles and Knights of Pentacles, there's something about money and the economy as
Yeah.
well. So I see two actions, one about the economy and then one I certainly don't hope that there's another casualty with ICE, but that could be a woman. That would be like Renee Good.
I also pulled vital wellness healthcare issues.
Yeah, and it's domestic. It is
It's
domestic.
all
It's
domestic, yeah.
um you said you had a bonus question kind of tied to that one.
Um, well, it's I should have wrote it down. Um, we had the question of what kind of the squirrel moment over here with what's been going on, kind of what to expect. Um, there's also more and more people coming out with this last document dump
Yes.
of backing up information that's in the document dump.
Oh,
It's like there are more and more, and this shifts globally a little bit because there's more and more people in the higher echelon of
yeah.
governments or just elitism around the world that are suddenly their names are out. It's
Yes.
their witnesses, there are witnesses of, there's evidence, blackmail evidence and whatnot, because evidently Epstein was keeping very thorough files on anybody and everybody that walked through his doors and how he could manipulate
People with
information to make them look like they were maybe involved with things that maybe they weren't really involved with. I mean, when you deal with somebody on that level, like Epstein, just like with Diddy and all the others, um, you deal with them pulling in innocent people
yes.
into ventures or parties or something to give it a very um, a thin veneer of acceptance and
Yeah.
proprietyness where people would look and go, well, why was that person there? What were they doing there? And it could have been just an innocent thing. They got invited to a fundraiser. They were, you know, asked to help fund a special event coming up or something. And so then suddenly their name gets tied in to someone like Epstein, who then delves into, do they have secrets in the closet
Yeah.
that I can dig out and use over them?
Yeah.
Um, and
Compromise.
so, yeah, compromise. Um, I know the most recent there more stuff came out about Prince Andrew.
Yes.
He has moved out of his royal lodge into another home that's like away. There was information that came out about his ex-wife Fergie,
Yes.
that she was more involved than people realized, with statements by both of their daughters stating how disgusted and embarrassed they were by this other information that's come out, because it's not only their dad now it's their mom too.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is really
Yeah.
bad. And then there are other people, France, Sweden, England,
All
whatnot, that
over the
we're talking
world.
about,
Yes.
all that are like higher echelon of
Yes.
governmental positions that are suddenly retiring or suddenly,
Yes.
pulling out because of health issues or whatnot. And come to find out, they're in these
It's
files,
fine. And
as
there's some,
well as locally,
yeah.
domestically as well. There are his one of his secretaries in one of the cabinet positions, and now I can't remember which one it was. And I was just telling you about it before the show, and it's out my brain.
Of commerce. Of
Commerce,
commerce.
Secretary of Commerce. That's right. He's looks like he's resigning because he had stated in the beginning, he gave a official statement that yeah, he had met with Epstein a couple of times on unrelated issues and then just didn't have any more to do with him. Well, come to find out, yeah, that wasn't true. Evidently, he had a lot more to do with him.
A lot.
A lot. And suddenly it looks like he's getting ready to step down. Um, I mean, I don't know. He may try to ride it out and stay put, but everything I've been reading is saying that he's on the verge of stepping down and like, hands off.
Yeah,
So
having to leave. The just a comment on the international aspect. Certain countries in their parliament, Congress, have started investigations at their
yes,
level, and so that's going to drive extra information to be revealed. The other one that with this third dump that came through, that came a little bit as a shock, I'll admit it, or maybe it's just me being naive, but Musk, who also said it had
yes,
nothing to do with it very clearly, like it's not just going to a fundraiser, it's going to a party that's going to be real fun, that sort of thing.
yeah.
Well, and with Ghislaine Maxwell and all of that being involved. So he is definitely deep into those files as well. I'm kind of getting the sense that uh and I'm not certain, but Pam Bondi is also in the files.
And their recent in the latest document dump, private emails between Ghislaine Maxwell and Melania Trump, where they
Oh,
weren't just casual, like, meet
big
at a
chat.
party or something. There were like intimate emails sent back and forth with them calling each other by their nicknames and stuff. Evidently, they had a much closer relationship than has been allowed to be stated. And so it's like, oh,
Wow. And that is not disclosed in the Melania documentary.
no, of course not. Um, and you've got uh she tried to sue Michael Wolff for she threatened to sue him for $1 billion if he wrote his book that included a lot of this information from his interviews with Epstein and what Epstein told him about Melania. And so she threatened to sue him if he released his book. Well, he turned around and sued her. He drew first blood. He actually filed a lawsuit against her for $1 billion for his
Trying to
trying to
stop.
suppress his First Amendment rights. And so they haven't been able to serve her with the papers because she keeps moving all over the place and she doesn't stay in the same place long. So it's like she's avoiding being served papers for
Oh,
this.
wow.
And so that can be really
Wow. Yes.
so I guess the second part of my question after what we already read on was just how deep does this go?
Well, yeah, that's a fantastic question. How
Just
far,
how deep?
what is, because I'm also getting an intuition that there's another dump that's gonna come. And we're talking, I get the sense like about 1 million documents, so smaller in size, but not in uh
Information.
information. Yes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it
That's
feels like the further this goes, the deeper it gets. And we haven't even scratched the surface.
yeah. There's people who's been over a month now that are still combing through these files that were
But
just
so
released.
much work. I mean,
And as soon as they find something, boom, they come out about it. Uh, that's why you had Don Lemon suddenly arrested along with other
yeah,
journalists for reporting facts, for showing up at protests and just doing their job, journalism, and
I,
and they're being targeted. And it's like it's like, especially with independent journalists, they're like, no, this is not cool. We're the press. You can't jail us for recording what's actually
I,
happening. Now, the big networks, you don't hear as much because people that own the big networks are part of that upper echelon. And there's dirt on them. And so, whatever somebody dingles that information says, you let your people do this,
I
we're
don't.
going to release that. And so That's why you're
I,
getting very skewed information from
I,
ABC, CBS,
I have
NBC.
a follow-up on Don Lemon after that. After we do, I want to ask you a question. So let's go with your great question of
How deep
how
does this go?
deep this is gonna go. How deep the next batch and how far this is gonna take this exchange file, how far this is gonna take. Really deep. This is coming real fast. The chariot. This is
Oh,
coming very fast. Seven of Swords. Some people are really gonna be damaged with this. Knight of Wands. This is a lot of fire energy. This is a lot of pushback, investigation, and the Ace of Swords, the card of truth, but it's also legal matters. So is that with the next batch that things starts to get to the legal side of things where persecution and things like that? This looks getting deep.
ay, ay, ay. Okay. First thing up, I got succession plan, next phase. They're already figuring out who they're going to replace the current occupant with. And I don't think it's going to be Mr. Vance. Um, for a long time, I did think that they would at least put him in temporarily, but I think there's
Yeah,
been too many things that have come to light and things that he has done in the past couple of months that's kind of eliminated him from that position. It's like those in charge, those really in charge are like, yeah, we can't waste our time and effort and money on him. We need somebody else that's going to do what we tell them to do.
okay.
So that's kind of what I get off of that whenever I've delved into that. That's what I get. Um, Following that up with power plays, tactical
Yeah.
maneuvers. So yeah, they're looking at who's going to be succeeding who, and it's all part of the power plays. This goes deep, y'all. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't want to admit it, but then I got selling secrets. So yeah, knowledge withheld even more. Why is it being withheld? Is it being used as compromise, or is it just being held back until a certain group of people step up and then they can boom, put it out there and crush them? Because you're dealing with very, very rich and ruthless people
Yes.
who are not willing to lose one penny of their money, even
Of
though
course.
even though they have more money than God, and they'll never spend it all. Their kids will
No.
never spend it all. Their grandkids or great grandkids will never spend it all. It's like they have an obscene amounts of money, while the rest of the world starves. Um, but then I got unexpected results. So this in science breakthrough. So,
Oh,
uh,
oh.
so this is like there's already rumors of a new virus going around.
Yes.
We've got a measles outbreak in this country because idiot parents were convinced that vaccinating your children were going to give them autism or some such ridiculous nonsense, which was proven decades ago to have no truth.
Yeah.
But you still have these people that, or they have measles parties with their kids. If one kid gets infected and they bring all their kids in, it's like, I'm sorry, I know a person personally I grew up with who grew up blind because she got measles when she was 10 months old before she was old enough to even get the vaccine, and it moved into her eyes and destroyed the optic nerves.
Oh,
And so she grew up blind. Uh, I've known other people who have when I know when H1N1 broke in 2007, 2008, I got it like a week before we got our vaccines in because the company I worked for provided free vaccines. It's the only time in my life I ever truly thought I was going to die.
I remember
That's how
that.
sick I was. And then COVID came out, and you had, instead of people following medical biological advice, they were convinced to shoot up horse serum and nonsense like that.
Yeah. Bleach.
Again, I know somebody who pursued that avenue, and now they are permanently disabled. They will live with an oxygen tank attached to them for the rest of their lives because their lungs are now like spun glass. It destroyed them. All because they were convinced that if you got the vaccine, you were given into the libs. It's like, yeah, dude, it's how deep does this go? This goes so deep on a level so high that
Yes.
most of us probably don't even know who we would be looking at because these people don't seek the limelight. They're not out there showing their
Oh,
faces or doing it. It's very, you may know or read of somebody or some foundation that, yeah, they have a lot of money and whatnot, but you have no clue what's.
yes.
It's like you just see the tip of the iceberg with them. That they have their chosen few in the family or whatever that go out and they're the face of the company or of they're the face that's known in public. Um, and so that particular person tends to be scrubbed really clean as far as any
Yeah.
iffy things. But with these, as we get more and more dumps, it shows the depth of Epstein's ability to dig up dirt.
Influence,
Yeah.
compromise, and I get politics,
Oh,
math,
yeah.
you know, the burden, which is going to be heavier and heavier, and then letting go, like as if someone will be let go.
Yeah.
So that really feels like to our joint readings, like, no, it's not business as usual. Something big will come out of this that seems to be related to even the change of government, the change within the cabinets, the elites, anything related to that.
You've got monarchies that are
Yes.
being torn apart in several different countries, not just England. Um, you've got others, democratic or socialist countries, and not the kind of socialist that people think it means. Real
Yes.
socialism is not that.
Social justice type.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've got, like what just happened with Venezuela,
Yeah.
where their leader who lost their election but refused to leave, where suddenly we show up and take him out, you know, snatch him and his wife up and they're gone. And instead of the person who won being able to step into the position that she was voted for, it
The
was
vice
given to
president.
someone else
Yes. The vice
within,
president.
yeah, who was just as corrupt as their president was. So,
That made
um,
no sense that she was this. You put the second in command, and that doesn't make any sense. It's almost like a country would have come to the US considering that Trump stole the election. Let's just role reverse for a second. So a country comes, let's say Russia comes in, takes Trump and, well, Melania will not be in the bedroom, most likely, like they did with the Maduro's couple. She probably wouldn't be there. So they come in, they take Trump's out of the bedroom, and considering that he stole the election, and then they replace Trump with Vance. well, how logical would that be? If this is based on the fact that they stole the election, that should disqualify Vance right away. Well, to your point, this is what they've done in Venezuela.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you have groups like Election Truth Alliance and smartelections.us who have done forensic computer searches on
Yeah,
the election and everything, who have found proof that numbers were messed with, machines were programmed to, once it got to a certain level, automatically started flipping votes, but only on the levels that they wanted it to flip votes. So you would
yeah,
get thousands and thousands of votes in one area where it was someone that was listed as a Democrat, voted for all of the Democratic
down
candidates down
ballot.
the ballot, but voted for Trump.
I
It's like that
heard.
made no sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that they're finding more and more proof of that. And as they've delved into it, because these are people who can get things out of computers that most people don't realize is still there. I've known a few of these forensic investigators that I've met that it's just mind-boggling what they can pull out from the metadata and off of a computer that you think is destroyed, or been erased or whatever. Yeah, it's still there.
yeah,
And they're able to find it. And it's truly frightening just how easy it was for the election in 2024 to go the way it went once you see how they did it. And it's been replicated to show how they did it. They were able to reproduce the effects. And they tried doing it in 2020, but they had their parameters too wide or something like that. And so it wasn't enough to throw it. And so Biden won because he was the people's choice. And so they saw where they messed up in 2020 and they tightened it up for 2024, which is why you had Trump blowing out the
yeah.
ballots in all these swing states that were all deeply blue Democratic states who voted for all Democrats and all Democratic things down
Down
ballot, yet
ballot.
they voted for Trump, and it was like, yeah. And it makes you wonder just how much the Biden administration, what on earth? Can we pause for just a minute?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Ask that again.
Okay, we're back on track here.
Okay.
So, um,
Sorry.
let
Minor mishap in my house. We had to pause.
um, I wanted to talk about Don Lemon. He has a YouTube channel, and it ties back to Epstein because I saw that he did a segment on Sasha Riley. And I don't know if you're read into this whole story with Sasha Riley, but I found that very interesting that that was picked up by Don Lemon to the point that I wondered, was the arrest related to him talking about the Sasha Riley testimony?
Ooh, ooh, I didn't even realize that he was looking into it. I mean, I'd
Yes,
heard him talk about it, but a lot of people were talking about it, and some were like,
yeah,
it's a bunch of BS, and others were
yeah.
like, no, no, there's something really here. So, um,
So that's why I'm kind of revisiting the topic. I just talked about it a few times on my channel, and I agree, like, it's not clear cut with me, but I feel like there's some truth to what it there. I think there's some truth to what
yes,
it. And so
yes.
when I saw that he picked up the story, I was like, well, I mean, that means something. Like he's, not like us, you and I on YouTube. He is a big, name out there. Why would he do that if there was really no interest? And then he was arrested. So question is there any, I want to ask the card, is there any connection between Don Lemon's arrest and him bringing up Sasha Riley's story?
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't looked into much on the Sasha Riley other than just the kind of basics. Um, I had heard Don Lemon mention it. I am a lemon head, so I I get a lot of this stuff. Um, I've always liked him, even when he was with CNN.
Yeah, yeah.
Thought he was really done
Uh,
dirty there. Um,
him talking about Sasha Riley in the arrest, is there a relationship between his arrest and bringing up Sasha Riley? Justice. So there's already something there. Four of Cups, almost like him being shown something he doesn't like, and so reflecting on this. And the Ten of Wands, a burden.
uh,
So I feel like that put, and that's what I'm hearing, a target behind his back.
yeah, one of the targets behind his
Well,
back.
not just the only one.
But yeah, no, I got um a downgrade alert, don't panic. So I think in the beginning, maybe he got warned or threatened, and he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, yeah, no, I'm the press. I'm gonna follow the leads I get. And then I got eruption threshold, a pressure release.
Mhm.
So that makes me wonder, with just those two cards alone, if they thought they were going to be able to release some of the steam out of this pressure cooker by attacking him for a different reason altogether.
Yes.
That it was going to send the warning that they wanted sent to other journalists.
Right.
Don't look too hard, or we're going to pop your butt and put you in jail.
Making an example out
They
of him.
they strongly, I got a strong no on, it's not going to work,
Okay.
because what they did, and then I got economic growth, I think, will come out of this in the long term, because they are going to learn. Well, journalists, the amount of journalists that stepped up in defense of Don Lemon from across all different spectrums, no matter if you were right, left, in the middle, in between, up, down, didn't matter. You had journalists coming out of the woodwork defending Don Lemon. And so I think that was a major miscalculation
On the
on
administration.
their part, on the whoever's making these calls. This was a major miscalculation, because they thought it was going to make all the other journalists go, oh, we can't touch this, we can't go there. And instead, they got the reverse. They got journalists coming out of the woodwork saying, whoa, hold on just a minute. There's First Amendment right. You cannot, take away our right to speak. And people came out in defense of Don Lemon. I mean, I saw people that, if you would have watched any of their stuff, by all means and purposes, hated Don Lemon or what he stood for, who were suddenly defending him on camera, saying, "Oh no, this is a step too far. You can't go here." And so that major miscalculation there. And then I got evidence of scandal, which backs up that hit I got, that this backfired on them big time.
Yes.
And then urgent act now. And I think this was all of the journalists. who
Yeah.
just immediately stepped up and said, no, this, you know, you attack one of us, you attack all of us
Yes.
kind of feeling. Um, and that really came home to me by the different journalists and talking heads and whatnot who stepped up to defend Don Lemon, who were maybe diametrically opposed to him
Politically. Yeah.
politically or personally or, uh, racially. I mean, Don Lemon, good looking black gay man who's
Yeah.
happily married, and whatnot, and doesn't hide it. And that really intimidates a lot of people up here
Yes.
because it doesn't fit into the
It's in
narrative
the
that they want
narrative.
to hear. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Um, I wanted to kind of put a bonus question on this with how far is this particular document and testimony and interview of Sasha Riley? Is this gonna go? How far is this gonna go? Example, will he be able to testify in Congress? I get this sense like there's, like I was saying, there's some truth. We just don't know too much about it, and there are more to come. But how far? The question is how far this story with Sasha Riley is gonna go. How far? Because first of all, this is a bit different where he's a male, and we've heard a lot about female victims, but he's a male, a veteran. And then also in his interview, it's very clear that Epstein worked for Trump, and not the other way around. And so that's something that needs to be really looked at, because if Trump was to be seen as the head, the mind over the whole Epstein, then that would be seriously problematic to say the least. So, how far is this Sasha Riley story will go? How far Sasha Riley?
Or similar
Or
story.
another story that, yes. Because, I mean, just a moment here on the victims, because this really makes me really crazy. Uh, Victim names have been left visible. It's the abusers that have been redacted. And that's so wrong. It's the victim that should have been protected, not the abusers. So it is really, really problematic. Sasha Riley.
Well, and you've got the so-called redacted video stuff coming out where they redacted the names of the perpetrators and left
Yeah,
the names of the victims.
that's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
which is backwards.
Uh,
I got the Two of Swords like we are at a crossroad here, but there's going to be an acceleration. Eight of Wands. There's an acceleration. Queen of Swords. Justice is stepping in. This is very, very in line with what we've seen earlier for the whole Epstein files. Or I was just looking at Sasha, but it seems like it's getting picked up.
yeah. Uh, oh, I got some cards here. First card up, strength. This is the victims. They're going to have to be
Yeah.
stronger than they've ever been before because they're being led to the slaughter, so to speak. They're being sacrificed. Then I got the hermit. This is going to maybe cause a lot of them to withdraw
Yeah.
for protection. But once their name is out there, they're not going to be able to withdraw. They're going to need that strength to deal with it. Then I got the moon. So there's still a lot of secrets that haven't come out.
Come out.
A lot of secrets that haven't come out. Um, Followed by the Knight of Wands. This is coming across to me right now as dogged, um, um, extreme, it's like it's going to make people go deeper,
Yeah.
delve deeper into the information. It's not having the effect that those up here thought it was going to have. Um, Followed by the King of Swords. Um, this is someone very strategic, a very strategical thinker with the King of Swords.
Yes.
And I think my last card was the Empress. So you have the elites, their strategies, their strategic thinker. And suddenly here comes the Empress with hold on, guys. You're not in charge. We are.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be another rude awakening for those up here.
Yeah.
She's going to come in. It almost feels like she and the knight are going to ride in together. Like the
Yeah.
knight is going to precede her and say,
Yes, that's right.
you know, because queens and kings didn't travel alone. They had their knights with them. Their knights were
Mhm.
there to protect them, to go before them,
Yes.
or to cover the rear. It just, this feels like the Empress is being brought in by the knight.
Yep.
And
Yep.
what are they looking at? They're looking at the moon, hidden things,
Secret.
the hermit digging deep, going under by themselves. They're not talking about it out here. These people that are digging for the truth, they're digging for the truth. And it's going to require a strength from everyone to
Yes,
get
because
through.
even some, you said names of the victims. I believe even addresses were left,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Doxing the victims and yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is very serious.
It feels like there's going to be more Sasha stories
Yes.
that are going to be dug up or people that are going to step out with their own proof and say, yeah, that was me too.
Yes. And I feel I was mentioning to you, I saw it was a live reporting from the White House, and Trump was in the Oval Office and says, okay, well, I think we can close this chapter here on the Epstein files because it's proven that there's really nothing, and it's proven that I have nothing to do with it. It's actually a problem for the Democrats. And if anything, I've been really a victim of,
Yeah.
what happened. And that it's almost, I mean, of course, what a lie and what a role reversal and typical narcissist reaction, being the victim when you're the perpetrator. I think it's gonna backfire so bad on him,
Oh,
really back.
yeah.
It's not
Most
finished.
definitely, because
Far from being
the
finished.
more information they dig up, the more these files are dug through that have been released, and they're not all out.
Oh no.
And I know, and this has been several months ago, I had gotten a flash with it's not just us or Jeffrey Epstein's brother that's got all these files. There are other
Mhm.
countries around the world who have
Oh yeah.
copies of all of these files.
I believe Israel has the files, Netanyahu has the files. Um, Interestingly, and I mentioned that on a show earlier this week, Netanyahu is not in the files, which is an interesting take.
Elimination. Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like this is Israel leaking some of those files to put pressure on Trump for him to strike in Iran. And so, to your
Yeah.
point, other countries, Russia, Israel, are going to leak more. They have access to those files,
I
and
keep
and
getting the
they're not
feeling
going to
like
give everything.
Scotland Yard has got a
Mhm.
huge, has got like the entire file and that they're getting ready to step in with the international courts
Yes,
and say, hold up a minute. Okay, they just said to me, international courts are going to route out their own that are in the upper echelon.
oh,
That's what I just heard when I started talking about it. It came in my head that the international courts with Scotland Yard and I forget the name of the agency Jack Smith was head of.
La Hague, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the Hague, yeah,
the Hague. That's it.
the
Yeah,
Hague,
yeah,
yes,
The Hague, the Hague, however they say it.
yes,
Um, that's what just came to me with, oh no, they're in the process of routing out their own
system.
dirt. That's up, up, up. And they got to clean their own house before they can tackle everything else.
And when you mentioned that, uh, I heard immediately Jack Smith. Even before you said Jack Smith, I was like,
Yeah.
Jack Smith gonna be involved in and maybe already
They,
working on it.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, he got cut loose right after uh Trump supposedly won this last election, and Republicans have been making a lot of noise about bringing him to trial and blah, 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 but they've also sabotaged themselves at every step to keep him from speaking publicly. They wanted
Yeah,
him to come behind closed
yeah,
doors. And he was like, no,
no,
I'll come talk to you, whatever you want to ask me
yes.
publicly. And they've been knocking themselves out to not let that happen. And Jack Smith won. He's already had a few committee sessions where he's gone in to answer that was public. You
Yeah,
got Bill and Hillary Clinton who
that's
are
right.
like, we're more than happy to come and talk to you as
Yeah,
long as
but
it's public.
publicly,
Yeah. And so now they're tripping all over themselves to not call in Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton and make it sound like, no, no, they didn't have anything to do with this. But at the
oh,
same time, well, maybe
oh,
they did. But, and Bill Clinton released a statement, was it yesterday? I think it
I
was,
saw,
saying that he wasn't going to play this game with Trump.
no,
And that if he had something to say, he could come ask him directly and he would answer publicly. And he was more than happy to share the knowledge he had. I'm like, oh, you don't play with Bill Clinton, whether if you
no.
like him or not. I mean, he was a hound dog. How Hillary put up with him, whatever their
Arrangement.
boundaries and arrangements of their marriage was, she was willing to deal with the fact that he was a hound dog and was going to be sniffing other skirts and taking advantage when he could because there were more important things to their marriage to her than him not keeping it in his pants where it belongs.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, to each his own. I know I couldn't have that kind of relationship, but it's like, Mama, don't play that game. It's like he'd be a dead man. He'd be a dead man missing all the protruding parts of his body. I mean, just It's like, yeah, no, we don't play that game. Uh, and I know quite a few people that kind of feel the same way, but there are a lot of people that that's just not a real issue with them.
And it's also about the whole politics behind it and what
Yeah.
her intentions and him. I wanted to ask the cards. I think we're onto something with Jack Smith. What will be Jack Smith role or actions in relationships to those five? So what will be Jack Smith? Because I think he's going to be involved,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's really going to be something. Yeah, Jack Smith. Jack
I
Smith,
mean,
Epstein files.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to take him
First
out.
card is the star. So right off the bat, this is like a big deal. This is long term. This is the US. And actually, it's going to do something really good. Ace of Wands, he has the power. He's going to start something. Look how good those cards are. Injustice. Those cards are phenomenal. When I ask what Jack Smith's going to do, justice, taking action, and for the greatest good.
I got the Empress again. Look who showed back up. She's like, this is my game. Back off. This feels very, I mean, for a long time, I didn't really see her as being involved that politically. But more and more and more in the last 6, 7 months, when I do draws on political questions in this area, boom, she pops up.
Mm.
So this feels like, yeah, she's got something to say. And then I got the Wheel of Fortune. What goes around comes around. You're talking about karma, and she's wearing stilettos and is going to go after you, you know. Um, and then I got the Ace of Cups. So this is new relationships being formed. This is Jack Smith developing new ways of getting the information out there. This is him saying, yeah, my cup runneth over. Look at all this extra stuff I got. I could just give you to run with. And that still doesn't get to the meat and the heart of the problem.
No.
And then I got death.
Wow, this is massive.
I get this feels like death on a scale of those up here. I don't think physical death, but I mean,
I actually was getting a
but I
sense
think
that it
there
could
are
be
going to be
physical,
some physical
physical death.
unalivings happening, whether if it's self-induced or
Yeah.
made to look self-induced or just out and out, you know, bang bang and you're done. Um,
This is not good. This is
this
very,
doesn't this doesn't come across as just wiping
no,
out the old to set up
no.
something new. This comes across with all of this as your day has come. Your time is up and nobody
Three of
escapes.
Swords. Three of
Like
Swords.
they say, death and taxes, you can't get away from it. Yeah,
This is, I mean, this is an explosion here.
yeah, yeah.
Is this explosion gonna get all the way to Mr. T?
Oh, I think so.
I mean, a
When I look
whole,
at this particular deck and the way the death card looks, let's see if it'll focus. Put it in front of my face. Um,
yeah,
I
no, we
mean,
got
you've
it.
got all of these symbols and emblems of the upper the
Class.
upper crust with the shields, the horses, the flag with the rose, the the crowns of horns and thorns, and this feels global.
Yeah.
This feels very global, and it's going to hit probably it's going to hit every person involved or every house involved of those up here. It's like no one's going to escape it.
I mean,
And
I
it's
believe
what we're going to need.
Rothschild is involved, Rothschild, it's all over. Um,
Yeah. And this is what we're going to need. Your thingy just fell down going, oh, I can't handle no more of this. Um,
it's a sign.
you put these two together and it's like, oh, your time is coming. Let's spin the wheel and see who's next.
Yep.
So who's next on this wheel is going to be dealing with this? I got chills. That's what I'm getting.
I got chills. And I was like focusing on Trump. I got the judgment.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
coming is literally a judgment. The emperor, that's him, and the judgment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's, how deep does this go? This goes to a level, this is like subatomic
Oh,
levels.
it is like an
This is
atomic
like
bomb.
cellular level of how deep this goes.
It's like it's more than an earthquake. It's massive telluric explosion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I mean, when it's all starts coming out, this is going to be on a traumatic level that is going to shake the foundation of everybody, every country. It's going to affect everybody.
Oh, it's every layer at that level, every country, every the monarchies, that's also because it's so connected at that level,
Oh
and that,
yeah. Oh yeah. They've intermarried and mingled and commingled for generations upon generations, you know, which is why you have a lot of the medical issues you do with a lot of the monarchy because of interbreeding, which now
yeah,
we know is that's not a real smart thing to do. Um,
yeah, it is going to
and
be.
it feels like there's going to be innocent people, wrong place, wrong time,
Oh yeah, I
connected.
believe that it is possible, and I think we know that there are people who met Epstein early on, outside any of these contexts, and they
Right.
were for
Yeah.
business stuff, and so after that they had no clue, but their names are there because there was a business meeting. Now that's very different from, like, let's say Musk or Trump, that clearly shows like there was invitations and with very
Yeah.
clear uh outcome in those parties.
Right. Different parties for different people.
People.
Um, well, it's like with who was it? Diddy? Is that the one that got in all the trouble? The rapper that got busted for all the, owning tons of baby oil and whatnot. Um, I mean, if there was at one point there was something that came out in the trial about the two princes of England, William and Harry,
Yes.
being at a party that he
Oh,
gave. They were invited and they were teenagers. They were like, "Oh, hey, a party, let's go." And they went, and when they got there, according to what was testified to that I read, was that William was the one who was like, something's not right. We got to go. And literally drug Harry out.
oh
Was like,
wow. They
you know,
smell. something was wrong. Yeah,
Yeah, just something in his radar went
exactly.
off. It was like, yeah, we need to not be here. And they left. I, I mean, it was said that they were there like under half an hour. They, long enough to kind of say hello to some folks and maybe be given a drink. And before they were gone, he had their bodyguards make
Yeah.
sure that they got out of there unscathed.
Well, I mean, what I mean at that level, when you're invited, you're gonna be associated with who you go to. I mean, like it's very scary because how do you know what's out there? And so,
Yeah,
yes, while there will be people that are unfortunately gonna be caught up with their names, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they did something wrong, but it's gonna be
right.
forcing
Wrong
them
place, wrong
to
time.
clear their names no matter what.
Yeah,
And some of them it's obvious from the files that they participated in some way in something really wrong. But like we were saying at the beginning, there is the predator sexual abuse, you know,
right,
pet stuff
right.
that has been going on. But there's also the foreign affairs, the money, the secret service,
The
the
cachet of being able to say, oh, well, Princess William and Harry were here at my party. Where were you? And fortunately for them, uh, they were there very shortly and realized this is not the kind of party we need to be at. And they
yeah,
left, you know, um, which for teenagers, you have to admit that's a rarity because a lot of teenagers may feel that. And then they feel the pressure of, no, just hang out for a little while. You're cool. Everything's fine. Nobody cares if you're a prince or whatnot. You just be a regular guy here.
teenager. Yeah,
And when you live in that atmosphere up here, being treated like just a normal guy down here is quite alluring because
yeah,
people supposedly talk to you, approach you as just a person, not
yeah,
the title or the crown or the bank account or all three.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I mean,
And that could lead to being, like you said, wrong place, wrong time, involved in those stories. And now, unfortunately, everything is coming out. And so it also brings the collective, and that's actually coming back to, remember, we started with the program that I'm doing right now on Eclipse. And
yeah,
so what's hidden? What's the shadow? What is coming out to the surface? And the important aspect is you are doing this at your individual level, but you're also doing it as the collective level. So now we're
yes,
dealing with the shadow work, the
yeah,
hidden is becoming unhidden at the collective level.
yeah, 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 absolutely.
Yes.
That's like ringing all my bells, going, yep, that's it exactly.
So,
It
um,
it 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 feels like with everything that we've looked at and the cards that we've both drawn, it feels like this up here is getting ready for a traumatic event, a doomsday type of event
yes,
for
I
them,
agree.
because they're going to get exposed in a way they've never been exposed before.
But
And
you
the
know,
people down here are going to be like, yeah, well, you bought the ticket, you went to the party, you know,
it reminds me of the French Revolution with Marie Antoinette, let them have cake.
let
And
them
the
eat cake.
it's
Yeah.
Trump, the whole system fell apart. And actually, what did they get? Their heads cut off. I
Yeah.
mean, they're facing, and I think, I'm not an astrologer, but when we talk with astrologers, they are talking about how this time connects so well with the revolutions that have gotten
Yeah. The
in
French Revolution, the American
revolution and
Revolution
revolution.
is like we're repeating on a cycle which makes a lot of sense. It's like astrologically, from what I've been told, it's like
Yes,
as things come back around into a certain alignment,
and
boom,
we go back
that's when everything starts happening.
exactly. So we're gonna wrap that up. I'm just gonna pull back my beautiful
Uh, background,
um just the collective, a card for the collective at this
yeah,
moment.
pulled out the Oracle of
Well,
the Waves.
well, I pulled from the tarot and I had the hangman. We're on a we're
Wait and see. Yeah.
wait and see. We're stuck, but you know what happens with the hangman? There is the change of perspective. This person stuck in moving to a different perspective. It's that shift of perspective that's gonna come.
Spiritual depths, risk. So we're
Risk.
not going to get to that spiritual depth without taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sherry, thank you for being here and doing this deep dive.
Thank
They're
you.
always so intense, and even something fell in your house, something fell in my house. That's why we had to get through
It
these
just took a while for the vibration to go through the wires and hit you.
Isn't that interesting? And on a positive note, next week, Valentine's
Yeah.
Day readings, any kind of relationship question, we're gonna take that on. So you want to make sure that it will be at 12 Eastern, 11 your time. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Sherry.
Thank
See you
you.
next week. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and you take good care.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
y'all.